Hi everyone, AI color grading has transformed 1,500 of your users' life, able to earn more money. One click, it will call 170 parameters to make a grade, and that has been revolutionary. And for competitors in the market who are using LUTs, selling over thousands of dollars, $700 for each of the software, you take at least 5 years for them to catch up to what we are today. So let's take a look how we revolutionize the entire AI color grading game. So let's take a look at this commercial here. We have 5 shots right here, shot beautifully at the beach. We have revamped the entire UI by organizing them under different engine groups. So basically, correction group and any of the engine group is able to create a grade. But today I'm going to run through every single one of them so you will know how powerful it is. But go to correction engine, every single tab have the grade with AI feature. Once you click that, you will analyze the footage. But because of the borders and letterbox, sometimes it's not that accurate yet. So for delogify, you just need to increase the range as well as the log exposure. You will perfectly return the log to red 709. And the beautiful part is it strips away the manufacturer saturation. So you have a clean canvas to play with. Next, we have a correction exposure and correction white balance. One click, you will nail the perfect starting point. And one new thing we introduced is correction print. In here, you can choose the camera negative and film prints. For here, my favorite is actually Fuji Reala and Fuji 3521. You can increase the print intensity and reduce the negative intensity depending on your wish, and use the subtractive density to bring out a bit of vibrance back into the frame. But once you've done this, we just done the first step of color grading, which using the correction engine. All right. So the correction stage is done with just less than 30 seconds. Now you have, as what I mentioned, combine correction with any of other engines, you will be able to create a perfect grade. So let's try the AI engine. Basically, once you've done a grade, you can use CinePulse AI to do your training. It will recall 170 parameters while you have done the changes, understand the behavior and your taste. Basically, from them, I have 5 samples here. I just click generate look. It will filter through from my part. I can change the intensity as well, depending on how bold I want the look to be. It will filter through all my past work on color grading. This is a very natural state, and you will filter through and create surprise for me. And when you are having creative block, you don't know what color or what direction to start with, this can kill and solve all your creative blocks. So one click, everything is settled. That's amazing, right? But of course, we are not going to cheat today. So I'm going to show you how you can do this manually yourself. So let's go back to the other engines. So first engine we're talking about is contrast engine. The power of the spectral contrast is doing channel level of contrast change. This has never been done by any competitors, and it's for them years to just copy this feature. So basically what you do when you create the red contrast, look at what happens. It brings the organic vibrance from the sensor data. And we can use a blue contrast, reduce a little bit, can massage the image in the way I want. And just by this single tweak, we have add so much organic saturation to the frame without affecting anything else. For film tonal curve, you can turn on the curve overlay. You can increase the black point, increase the shadow softness. That will create the milky gray in the shadow. So we are further enhancing the grade. So as what you call is contrast engine, we are building every single thing with color contrast, now with tonal contrast, and split tone is about splitting the shadow and the highlight. For example, I want the shadow to have cyan, I can split and then rotate to add cyan to the shadow. And I can do all this with just one engine. And to be honest, if I'm aiming for a naturalistic look, this is sufficient. All right, but I'm not going to use split tone right now. So now let's look at color engine. Color engine has 2 parts. One is color swap, another color density. So you can turn on all the mask system. You are able to see and know exactly where the colors are. For example, this is yellow. I can turn the skin. I can change the canvas. Let's make it slightly more orange. I can increase the saturation. And at the same time, I can look at cyan mask. There's no cyan in the frame. Blue, not much blue information. So what is the sky? So I can turn on the mask. The sky is actually white. So in this case, we can't add cyan in the frame by swapping colors, but we have other strategies later. We'll talk about it later. For color density is a subtractive color science. As I add more saturation, it actually brings down the luminance. This is simulating the film stock. More lights passing through the film, more lights are being blocked. So this is revolutionary. So you can use the global density and just look at how well it adds the organic denseness to the frame. But of course, we can balance out with the red mask, and then we can reduce the density of the skin. So we have just the denseness on the rock, and we can increase the denseness on the blue, cyan, etc. But one big part that I want to talk about is because of the missing of the important recognition for the sky is white here. and we can increase the cyan range and further push the cyan down, but it's very limiting. But later I'm going to show you how to use Film Mixer Engine to add cyan in the frame, so we can take advantage of the teal and orange set. Next, we're looking at color scheme. So when you turn on the skin tone map, you can actually see your entire frame breaking down into orange, yellow, and blue. So what's happening here, I can adjust the skin hue, make sure 99% of my skin is covered in orange. That means it's perfectly aligning with the skin tone line. And then I can use the skin density to control how fair or how dark I want the skin to be. Look at just that one single tweak. We solve the oversaturation over the skin. And that is how precise this engine is. Next, we can go to Mixer Engine. And we have a film glaze, which is increasing the fresco looking punch to the image. Look at just that one single tweak of the creamy depth and wet volume. We bring so much punchiness into the frame and bring the vibrance once again. So that's how powerful this engine is. Next, Mixer Engine is my favorite. This is where we're really building a palette. We're massaging everything into a certain palette. But here, let's talk about the magic. The mixers, the manual groups here. So RGB. What I can do here, I can reduce the red. They will massage all the red pixels actually into the cyan right away, just at one click. Even though we don't have cyan information, look, but we have red, right? But we can remix red into cyan, and that builds the cyan into the frame. Look at how gorgeous and beautiful this is. Next, when we go to Film Printer Light, this is where you're injecting colors in a three-dimensional space. When you turn on the production mask, these white areas are where this applied with shadow protection and skin protection. Contrary to the traditional printer lights, which is used to balance, color balance only, we are here to use it like a 3D map to inject color in the frame. Look at I inject the green and yellow. Look at how it creates that vintage look right away, with absolutely no information of cyan here. So let's look at the magic and how well it syncs across shots. Let's Command C and let's copy and paste in another shot. Look at how well the gray is staying consistent throughout. Sometimes you feel the strength is too much. Of course, we can go down to the master control. This is also a new addition. We can control how intense the look we want it to be. Maybe 0.8 is good enough. I can copy it to the other frame, and that helps to balance out the strengths of the look. Look at here, it's really amazing, right? So what we can do more even, I can save it as a preset. I name it with 260803. I save it as a preset. I can start from clean canvas. I just need to load 260803. I just load selected. I have done all the grading transferred across softwares from DaVinci Resolve to Premiere Pro, After Effects, and Final Cut that's coming soon. I'm gonna do a Final Cut video tomorrow. It's gonna be groundbreaking, okay? We have done a professional grade to all the shots with zero information. That's amazing, right? For a commercial work. And how much time we take? Less than 10 minutes, all right? So I hope you all have from this video, you understand how powerful and how far ahead is a PFA Color Suite in terms of AI power. But at the same time, I hope to let you know our license system, one license unlocks all software. So now there's Adobe Premiere, After Effects, DaVinci, and tomorrow I'm gonna make a Final Cut version of our PFA Color Suite video. It's groundbreaking. It's really gonna make Final Cut to be the best color grading tool in the world, because our tool is better than DaVinci itself natively, okay? But one price, a price of one license, unlock all software on your machine. So our license is machine-based. Look at what our competitors doing. Each license on one software, they will cost about $600. And for us, one software unlocks all. So that's the beauty we're doing. Okay. As a founder, I'm very proud of what we built. And PFA Color Suite is just one small piece to our big ambition. And you're gonna see photo shoot, you're gonna see photo suite, you're gonna see video editor suite very soon. So we are coming. You discover PFA Color Suite is like discover Adobe at the early stage, and we're very happy that in the future you will see how fast and how crazy PFA Color Suite is gonna grow. Okay, my name is Nash, Passion Fuels Ambition. I shall see you in the next one.